Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Breakpoint. I never knew how disappointed in this game I was until I completed it and went back to Wildlands, a game that tried so hard to be tactical and true to realism that it fouled at every turn. Granted, there are some things that are done so right in this game, you get annoyed with yourself for not picking up on it in previous games such as Wildlands, but these are quickly overshadowed by the sheer amount of nonsense that this game produces. Now, I do not often say this, if at all, but it has been alluded to in some of my videos, and if you're in my Discord, it is common knowledge. I'm in the army, and if you are good with accents, you know exactly what country's army I am in. I only mention this now, as hopefully my words will carry some weight for you, and if this somehow gets back to Ubisoft, then they should take note, as the tactical play and movement of this game is garbage. I honestly think you should start to fire a few people. Now, with all that being said, I do not hate this game. I still play it, I still run around and stab things. Nice addition, by the way, like genuinely nice addition. It is just after about an hour I've had enough of the bullshit that I have no choice but to turn it off just to save what is left of my sanity. Now let's actually get into what's going to be a venomous spewing of a review. Movement. Although most movement around the world is smooth and feels weighty, especially when you're injured, there is a plethora of hiccups. Cover, for example. Run too near a car or a wall and you auto get into cover, which now just messes up the transitions and spams your camera from left to right and back again. I just wanted to run, not get into cover, or I just wanted to go into the driver's seat of a car. That's my favourite one. You'll go too near a car, you'll press E to drive and your character gets in cover, so now you're in this weird loop of trying to get into a car, out of cover, back into cover. It's frustrating as hell. Give me an option to get into cover or out of cover when I want to, not when you think I want to. Traversal. This is something that really irritates me. Climbing over anything. You could be sprinting full force towards a hip height wall, you press the climb over button when all of a sudden your character turns into a 90-year-old grandma with one leg and you take your sweet ass time getting over that wall. You come to a full stop and literally ponder about how you will achieve such a monumental task. Dude, just step over it. The part that really pisses me off is that Ubisoft got the traversal system so right in Division 2. How the fuck did you mess this up so much? Sliding. Fuck off. That's it. That's pretty much the gist of what I have to say. No, seriously. Who implemented this? Did anyone test this? Did anyone ask a real soldier about sliding down a freaking hill? Some 99% of the time you're not even sliding down a hill, it's a frigging slope that a toddler could cartwheel down. Now I have gone down some pretty steep hills with 80 kilograms on my back. I have not slid once. Not once. Sure, you move slow and carefully to save you from breaking your legs or neck, but you do not slide. And why on earth does this consume stamina? Sorry, this needs to be said with more emphasis. The fuck Ubisoft, stamina from sliding? Wow. There is this great thing called gravity. It kind of pulls you down, eliminates effort. Consume health, maybe. Falling down a hill would hurt. You know what, this might be too complicated for you. Remove sliding. Injury system. Now this is good and bad. I really like the idea of it. I just wish that there was some sort of consistency to it. So far it seems like RNG to whether or not you get injured and where you get injured and the result of you being injured. And a lot of it, well, there are some things here that just make no sense. Now this part is not necessarily bad points, they're more just sort of pointers. Now I have noticed that you have minor injuries and major injuries. I like this. However, due to combat situations and adrenaline, when receiving a minor injury, I think there should be a slight stagger, and then you can just get back in, carry on as normal, no impediment on movement, adrenaline rush as it were. It is a minor injury after all. However, the more you move, the more you bleed out, decreasing your health over time, for example. And this should force people to find cover ASAP and tend to their wounds. Now, if they consume 50% of their remaining health from when they received that minor injury, it should develop into a major injury, which is when movement should be impaired. I only say this as I have seen people sprint on broken legs, pick up others on broken arms, and I've met a man who tourniqueted his own blown off legs and applied his own morphine in a minefield while the medic was having a panic attack. Adrenaline in a life and death situation really does push you through. I think it'd be great if you could capture this. Stealth. As much as I like the stealth, it feels clunky and unpolished. I cannot think of any other game where I can sneak right up to an enemy, drop a grenade at their feet and walk off. Now, I'm just crouching. Why am I not being seen? That being said, prone camo, wow, what a great addition. Sincerely, this should have been in Wildlands. I love that it has use and that it genuinely hides you from the enemy. You get a real feel of being a ghost in a hostile land every time you use it in desperation. This one feature alone just about pulls you back from the event horizon. Spotting. 90% of the time this has logic and sense. However, there are still many times where, as a panther that I play as, I am in the middle of an enemy camp, knifing suckers left and right. They do not come for me. No. They run 300 to 400 meters up the cliff to get my teammate, who's a sharpshooter, who hasn't yet fired a single shot. Still spotting enemies. Or that random mortar that no one has seen me. Sure, they're alerted, but no one's seen me. It's okay though, God mode mortar inbound. Do you know the amount of tactical information and grid references go into firing a single mortar? I have a friend in the mortars who tried explaining it to me once. Honestly, it would be easier to learn every language on this damn planet. Which also leads me to, if I am spotted, fine, but why does that compromise my entire team? One person has been spotted, that means they have knowledge of one enemy combatant. Not all four of us. If one person is seen, one person under threat. If two people are seen, two people under threat. Do you know how hard it is to get the direction of a sniper shot? Gunsmith. Now there's nothing wrong with this, it just looks terrible and way too shiny for what it is meant to be. You are managing your gear and weapons in a hostile land, abandoned and alone. Why is everything so clean? Wildlands looked better, was more rustic, had more detail, and it actually felt like you were customizing your weapons with the weapon sort of pulled apart thing. It looked visually appealing. It's not a serious backstep, but it's a backstep nonetheless, which brings me to the gear score system. Is there actually a point to this? How does it work? Why is there a recommended gear level for enemies when a shot to the head is a shot to the head? It's not like I'm gaining anything either, which is the most confusing part. I have honestly never known such a pointless levelling system. At level 30, a player with a 240 gear score is at the exact same point as a level 1 player just starting out. Either remove it or make it worthwhile. And this loosely brings me to the lovely and charming wolves. They appear to be wearing some high class bulletproof armour. It sounds metallic in nature, you get that lovely ding when you shoot them. Do you know how much that would weigh? How restrictive that would be? I don't care for how tech Aurora is meant to be and their technological capabilities. To stop a 50 caliber round the way their armour does, that must weigh a ton. Fine, they can wear it, but they shouldn't be running anywhere. At all. In fact, after 12 hours in that, they'd probably die of exhaustion. Did anyone think this through? Bivouac. Seriously, army talk here, bivvy. It's a friggin' bivvy, no one calls it bivouac. I really like this, I think that's a great addition, and one of the few points where I have no negatives, save for the dragging your allies in whenever someone sets one up. Give a prompt, and if they wish to join, they'll join, if not, they press no. Please, it's hell annoying if people load in at different times and the first person there gets spammed with 3 bivvies. It's just frustrating. Other than that, good effort. Now graphically the game looked pretty good, if too shiny. Everything on your character shines. Things that shine are the easiest ways to be seen in survival situations. Make the game dirtier, make it feel more rustic, more like you are in a survival situation. I quite like that when you go through a muddy area, your boots get muddy. If you lay down in a muddy area, your character looks muddy. But after like 30 seconds, you are back to being this beacon of shining wonder. You did a really good job in Wildlands until it rained, at which point you then became this beacon of shining wonder again. But it seems like you really have gone backwards on this one. I honestly do feel like if you added the bivvy and the prone camo to Wildlands, you would automatically have a better and next game in your Ghost Recon series. I recently got a friend into Ghost Recon. We played through Breakpoint first, and we're currently playing through Wildlands with him. And he is so confused as to how Breakpoint is the more recent out of the two. Breakpoint is a serious step back. Ubisoft should have kept this game in development for at least another 6 months and really tested it out. There are so many simple mistakes that I feel could have been avoided if they just thought about it and learnt from Wildlands. Anyway, that is a soldier's review of Breakpoint, a game that I was told on repeat that is tactical, has great gunplay, and I don't even know. I really want to like it because I like the Ghost Recon series. I really liked Wildlands. I quite enjoy a lot of Ubisoft's gunplay games, Division, Division 2. Just Breakpoint has hurt me so much. It's like they have tried so hard to be tactical that they've near enough made your character a tactical 4-year-old. Only a tactical 4-year-old would slide down a slope. The only reason you can walk up to enemies and drop a grenade at their feet is because you're a tactical 4-year-old. I really don't understand a lot of the systems in this game, and it just seems so wasted. But the reason for implementing a lot of them is just stupid and pointless. Anyway, that is me. Thank you for watching this video. Hope to see you guys again for the next one. Good luck, have fun, and don't die. Bad phone.